Begin tonight with podcaster and Trump ally Benny Johnson, who led the charge on this and to have Kimmel either fired or taken off the air. Benny, I see you smiling. I think there's a question to be asked here. Is this the free market or is this cancel culture?
Well, let me tell you the background of the story. Perhaps your viewers would be interested in understanding how this actually happened, because yes, this is the free market. And yes, ABC News did the commendable thing here, and they were forced to do so by their broadcast affiliates. Now, I want to frame, and this is very important, Leland, I want to frame what Jimmy Kimmel did here. I like an offensive joke. I like Dave Chappelle. I like comedians that make fun of the right or the left or anyone. I'm a big fan of Kill Tony. This is not about someone telling an offensive joke. This is about somebody crossing the line and creating a dangerous environment, the same style of dangerous environment that got Charlie Kirk killed in the first place. This is what Jimmy Kimmel did. Jimmy Kimmel went on to his audience of millions and said that a MAGA conservative killed Charlie. That's what he said. And then, effectively, by saying that to his audience, he said that Charlie had it coming, because Charlie Kirk is the leader of the MAGA conservative movement. He is a generational voice for our movement. And so as Charlie Kirk is the figurehead saying that he was killed by his own movement, what you are doing is victim blaming Charlie Kirk. One, that's what Jimmy Kimmel did. First sin. Second sin is that Jimmy Kimmel is messaging to his left-wing audience that if you are a left-winger and you target a conservative, if you target a Trump supporter and you kill them, I, Jimmy Kimmel, and the ABC News platform will whitewash it for you. I will ensure that your true motives, which is left-wing violence, this is demonstrable evidence has been provided that this is a left-wing political assassin.
We went through that.
Yep. And so Jimmy Kimmel is lying to his audience. He has a duty, a legal duty. ABC has a legal duty based on their broadcast licensure with the federal government that is lavished upon them by the taxpayer, to not lie to their audience, also to broadcast in the public interest. So by doing this, especially on national issues, by doing this, they are in violation of their broadcast license. My program said we are going to speak with Brendan Carr about this. We're going to actually use soft power and see what does the FCC think about this. Brendan Carr went scorched earth this morning on my podcast, saying that this was truly sick and that Disney and ABC News will suffer consequences for this, because this is a malicious lie told about a good and honorable man, the single worst left-wing political assassination in our lifetimes. Now, what happened next? My program and my producers continued to hit the bricks and call local stations, call the local affiliates, and ask if they are going to be broadcasting Jimmy Kimmel, given the FCC's commentary and given the liabilities that Disney has put on them. And a huge compliment to Nexstar and a massive compliment to Sinclair Broadcasting, who both told us in statements that are now public that they are going to end the Jimmy Kimmel Show. They're going to rip the Jimmy Kimmel Show off the air. That took Jimmy Kimmel out of 37 million households. I didn't make that decision. Brendan Carr didn't make that decision. It was the affiliate stations. These are the organizations that own the actual broadcast stations. They manage them. ABC News simply creates the content. And so this is absolutely the free market. This is the local stations declaring that they will not try to defend the indefensible, and they said so in their statements. So this is absolutely 100% justifiable. Sorry for the long answer, but it is important for everybody to understand this is not an attack on free speech. This is not because somebody told a naughty joke that we don't like. This is because Jimmy Kimmel did the indefensible, and he victim blamed Charlie Kirk's political assassination on himself, on Charlie.
So I think what you're trying to set up is rightfully sort of a pre-defense to the idea that this is cancel culture, right? You're saying if there had been another person shot and any other TV host or news anchor or anybody else had victim blamed, right, that then though that person would be fired or taken off the air too. This just happens to be because it was a left-winger doing it. That's why everyone is so aghast at it happening.
Yes. Okay. Absolutely. I mean, if you were to reverse all of these things, it is as monstrous. And it is, by the way, a duty. This is the difference between us and the left-wing corporate media ecosystem right now. is because it would be my duty, actually, as somebody who's on the right, to disavow someone who was victim blaming for a leftist who was murdered in front of his family.
Okay,
so we do not call for murder. We are about nonviolence.
Right, and before we before we changed things when Jimmy Kimmel was suspended, we went through that, right? Because there were a number of shootings by people with what you might call a right-wing ideology. There was the Pulse nightclub shooting. There was the Dylann Roof shooting. There were people who had racist, anti-gay, whatever ideologies, and everybody on the right came out and condemned it.
Pulse nightclub shooting was Islamic terrorism. Hold on.
Islamic terrorism.
Pulse nightclub shooting was ISIS. What are you talking about?
Islamic terrorism.
Whoa, I won't allow that. This happened with me on Cuomo the other night.
No,
I won't allow it.
Benny,
hold on. You're going to correct the record right now.
Okay.
So Pulse nightclub was an Islamic terrorist, ISIS shooter.
Benny,
are you saying that that's on the right?
No, I'm not. Benny, just hear me out.
All right.
Okay, I covered the Pulse nightclub shooting. Forgive me.
But you said that that's considered right-wing. That's right-wing violence, and I want you to correct that.
It is corrected. What I'm saying is that when the Dylann Roof shooting happened, I'm making your point for you. When the Dylann Roof shooting happened, every Republican came out and called it racism. Did they not?
Yes.
Right. And my point being here is
disavow it. Yes.
Right. My point being here is that when it happened on the right, or when there was right-wing ideology associated with it, the right called it and named it what it was. When it's happening on the left has not done that, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
All right, so we're in agreement now.
Totally.
Okay.
Yes, and I don't like the both sidesism, and it is important. It is incumbent to hit back on that with direct data from YouGov and from Gallup. I will cite for you 2 polls. One poll of the left saying that the left is 3 times. This is from YouGov, 3 times more likely to believe that political violence is a alternative to debate.
Okay, so I think
according to Gallup, the left is twice as likely.
Agreed.
Twice as likely to celebrate, to be willing to celebrate the death of one of their political adversaries. So the data shows that the left
agreed.
is
I know
the
you don't
party
watch
of
the show every night. Understandable. We did a number of segments on those polls.
Yeah.
This would be my question, though. I think what we're seeing for the first time, and you've led this charge, is that somebody, a member of the liberal elite, if you will, which I think Jimmy Kimmel's a member, has had to pay a price, right? This has never happened before.
Yes, and thank you for asking that question, Leland. I appreciate that because this is what Charlie would have wanted. Charlie's dream, and I worked with Charlie for a decade, building and speaking across the country and creating Turning Point USA. What Charlie had dreamed of is a cultural power where you can reach even into the blackened, dark heart of Hollywood, into the highest ivory towers of Hollywood, and to create accountability for monstrous behavior on behalf of a moral nation. You know, 37 million households did not want Jimmy Kimmel to be broadcast into their homes. They were disgusted by what he said about Charlie.
Okay, so it's a question now.
Yeah.
Do you get a sense that it's going to change at all? Because I've watched the CNN coverage for the past hour or so. You have Kara Swisher and others on there talking about how this is the end, right? That this is proof of what they've been warning about with Donald Trump. Tell me why they're wrong.
Well, hold on. Well, I mean, again, where is the policing of your own side here?
Are you talking to me or you're talking to Kara Swisher?
To CNN writ large, right?
Okay.
Who refuses to say the name of my podcast, who refuses to say my name on air, you know, my Walter White moment here, say my name, CNN. Like, they refuse to say it. They refuse to speak to their own side and to police their own side. CNN should have said that it is indefensible to make fun of a dead man, to make fun of a victim of horrific left-wing political violence. And instead of holding their side accountable, they decide now to whitewash what's happening to Jimmy Kimmel. What's happening to Jimmy Kimmel, Leland, is not cancel culture. What's happening to Jimmy Kimmel is consequence culture. Well, don't make sick and despicable jokes and victim blame somebody who is right now dead, whose wife is widowed, whose children are orphaned, who we as a country lost a future president because of the rhetoric of the left. I mean, who's next?
What I'm trying to say is do you see somebody do you see somebody who's also doing this? Do you see somebody who is also doing this on the left that you view as
the next person who you have a problem with and that you feel is doing the same thing Jimmy Kimmel did. And clearly, you got results today and having Jimmy Kimmel suspended. Is there someone you see doing the same thing right now that you also think should be suspended?
Oh, yeah, totally. There are a number of large voices on the left. One that bothers me in particular is a streamer named Destiny. This is a streamer that has a massive audience that is doing far more gratuitous calls for violence and accelerating his calls for violence against the right. And it is obscene. He is monetized on YouTube and on Kick. These are platforms in which he is being paid by big tech in order to platform these calls for violence. And I want to make the distinction. And I think this is a very important distinction. You cannot unite with people who are calling for your death. You cannot unite over a lie. And I want the unity moment, but you first have to accept the fact that there are a number of people on the other side that have been so far gone and have had their brains broken so badly that they want the death of right-wingers. They call for it regularly. They celebrate it when it happens, and you cannot unite with that, Leland.
Well, it's probably why the Israelis shouldn't be made to make peace with Hamas. Kind of the same thing, right?
I mean, I guess you could apply that all over the world. Sure.
All right. Fair enough. Benny, thank you very much. We appreciate the time. Good conversation. It's good to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.